I always give all his credit, no, but we need to run it back. That's why my tough. When after the fight, I say we need to run it back this fight because I don't feel the way I really want, and I need to make this fight happen again, no, and it's gonna be different. I think for him to deserve all the credit, he need to give me the rematch, obviously. But he decided to retire, and we need to accept that and move forward.
You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just no let me go.
I have a burning question for you that I think everyone wants to know. Is there going to be a Canelo rematch? Is there a rematch clause? That's something you're thinking about?
I'm not even thinking about that right now. And quite frankly, I don't think it is a rematch clause. And if it is, nothing has been said to me about fighting him again or anything.
Do you think Canelo would want to get back in the ring with you? Or do you think it's better for him to just or more lucrative to go fight elsewhere for the rest of his career?
I think it would be better for him to fight somebody else because my style is just, a bad matchup for him. Now,
Terence Crawford, fresh off an amazing performance, is making his intentions very clear. He has openly addressed Canelo Alvarez's calls for a rematch and isn't buying any excuses. Crawford already understands Canelo's style and has the mindset to control the fight, not just survive it. This is about more than protecting his legacy. It's about earning respect, and Crawford is determined to put an end to the excuses.
Did you watch the Terence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight?
Yeah, I did.
Woo, talk about slick. Oh my goodness. Who's ever done that? Who's ever jumped up 2 weight classes like that? It's crazy.
Scary.
He's so clever, and it got to the point where he got so comfortable, he's like pit-patting him, and then
Under-
like, what? You're watching, like, this is amazing.
Like, that's history, obviously. You shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
Undisputed of all time. And do what you did. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Crawford achieved something remarkable, moving up several weight classes to take on the naturally bigger Saul Canelo Alvarez. He didn't just get through it, he dominated. Using sharp angles, precise counters, and flawless defense, Crawford left the super middleweight champion clearly frustrated and hurt. After the fight, Canelo showed respect, admitting he couldn't handle Crawford's tactics and even saying Crawford was far better than Floyd Mayweather. It was a moment of real acknowledgement.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Months later, that respect seems to have vanished. Canelo has since explained the loss differently, claiming leg cramps, elbow issues, and lack of focus affected his performance. Fans quickly compared these excuses to Deontay Wilder's infamous costume story. Things got stranger when Canelo demanded a rematch, saying Crawford must fight him again in September to give full credit to the first win. But the original contract had no rematch clause, and Crawford intentionally left it out, including any rehydration limits, to keep the fight fair. With Crawford planning to retire in December 2025, Canelo's demands have no real foundation.
He was given a lot of credit. There's no rehydration clause, blah, blah. Oh my God, Bud's such a fighter. I'm up here making the argument, see, no excuses. He doesn't need a Mayweather rehydration clause. But really, why did he do all that? Because if you want the shot, you got to do it according to Canelo's terms.
Yes.
He still beat Canelo comprehensively and decisively. In the rematch, Crawford would be within his rights to say, okay, wait a minute. Now there's going to be a rehydration clause. Now there are going to be some things that favor me. And once that happens, it's just going to get worse for Canelo.
I wouldn't like that with Crawford's legacy. And I don't think it's with his character.
If you were Canelo, if you were Crawford, like, I understand what you mean. I already proved my point the first time. All right, you want the rematch? Okay, but now it's going to be on my conditions.
You maybe different money terms. Say you want parity and money, which obviously never has been with Canelo, stuff like that.
See, that's my thing. You begging for this fight, and you go on these shows where
I don't think he's begging for it either.
He's not begging.
You know what? Shady loves to say that. Oh, why did you get into it with fighters? You know why? Because I interact with the fighters. Let's get Canelo here, and then you say this to Canelo.
You think I'm gonna get this thing? I don't care about none of that.
Listen,
you might think a huge payday would change Crawford's mind, but he's different. Rumors say Turki Alalshik offered $100 million to bring him out of retirement. For most athletes, that would be tempting. Crawford, however, said no, making it clear he cannot be bought. He values principles and integrity over money, showing he's one of the few stars not motivated purely by cash.
Don't got $100 million for me, don't even talk to me about it. And that's what I'm talking about, that's what I like to hear. Basically, let me translate, because we know Crawford don't like to do too much trash talking. He likes to keep it clean. What Crawford is saying to Canelo, the price on your head for a rematch is $100 million because he already collected it last time. Canelo is not gonna go with the rematch. Talk is cheap. With Crawford being the A side, with Crawford getting the lion's share, with Crawford getting fair judges, mainly, Canelo is gonna say, hell nah, to the no, to the no rematch. Telling you, he gonna start speaking English again. We haven't heard Canelo speak English for a minute now, I think. As soon as they show Canelo Alvarez the realistic terms on the contract for the rematch, he's gonna wake up to reality.
The reason Crawford refuses the payday is deeper than money. He explained that the fight itself isn't the issue, the brutal training camp is. Months of intense preparation for a massive opponent would take a serious toll on his body. Crawford is thinking long-term, choosing health and time with family over a short-term payday that could leave him with lasting damage.
Because boxing is not all about knocking somebody out. Yes, that's part of it. That can happen, but boxing is a sport where you can outpoint somebody too. That's why they go to the scorecard.
I appreciate that take, bro. That's real educated, man, real thoughtful. But you know, you ain't had a decision win in a long time, bro. You know, you known for like being a great finisher. So I appreciate that. But that ain't how you moving though.
Right.
Please explain that to me. You just saying overall.
Yeah, overall.
You say, hey, I like to do this, but this is not for everybody.
It's definitely not, because it's a price to pay. It's definitely a price to pay when you fight those type of fights.
Yeah.
When everybody thinks nothing going on.
Yeah.
But all them punches add up.
Yeah, buddy.
All them punches add up.
He ain't got a bruise or nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't take no punishments. Like, bro, my head hurt.
Your head hurt.
I'm in this room right now trying to get right, and y'all chilling, partying downstairs.
Yeah, like all them punches add up. You know, punches in sparring add up. All them punches add up, and when one is good one day, and then it just all hit him out of the blue. He ain't even boxing no more. It just hit him, and then people be like, "Man, you all right, man?
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?"
You never know when that's gonna happen.
You never know. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Long enough. Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, dang. You know what I mean? Is you all right? Yeah, I'm good. You might start slurring a little bit. You might start forgetting a lot of things. Yeah. You might get a little dementia. You might keep repeating the same thing over and over. You know, and you don't even know it. You know, but that's from all that accumulation of punches to the brain.
But I know you probably have too. I done been in the presence of fighters, bro, where that stuff is happening, and I'm like, where they say something to you and they just told you 2-3 minutes earlier, you like, brother, you just said that.
Definitely.
That's scary to me.
Definitely.
That's scary to me.
I look at all the...
Instead of arguing in the media, Crawford has used the most powerful strategy, silence. While Canelo jumps from podcast to podcast complaining, Crawford has stayed quiet. That calm confidence frustrates critics because there's nothing to attack. After his win, Crawford asked the crowd, "What more can they say now?" That line has only grown stronger. His silence lets his victory speak for itself, while Canelo struggles with his own frustrations.
I have a burning question for you that I think everyone wants to know. Is there going to be a Canelo rematch? Is there a rematch clause? That's something you're thinking about?
I'm not even thinking about that right now. And quite frankly, I don't think it is a rematch clause. And if it is, nothing has been said to me about fighting him again or anything.
Do you think Canelo would want to get back in the ring with you, or do you think it's better for him to just or more lucrative to go fight elsewhere for the rest of his career?
I think it would be better for him to fight somebody else. because my style is just, you know, a bad matchup for him. Now, financially wise, I would be like, yeah, he should fight me. But like on the outside looking in, knowing boxing, you can really get hurt. So I would just tell him, like, if you're gonna continue to fight, don't get in the ring with a guy like me.
Yeah, there's a popular adage in sports, kind of gets reused over again. It's kind of cliche. Father Time is undefeated. 38 years old. We see a lot of athletes now go into their late 30s and 40s and produce at a high level. How much longer do you want to do this?
I don't know.
No clue yet? Did beating Canelo make you think about those next steps in any way, or?
Before Canelo, I was thinking about a lot, you know, and I'm still thinking about a lot. I just haven't made my final decision. But once I make it, I'm going to make it, you know, and I'm going to make it here soon.
Fans also see a strategic reason for Crawford's decision. On forums like Reddit, many point out the risky politics in boxing. Canelo is still the biggest draw and is starting his own promotion. If Crawford agreed to a rematch, there's concern the sport could manipulate the fight to favor Canelo. Crawford has no reason to enter a situation where the odds are stacked against him.
I would love to see the rematch. I think in the rematch, if he comes back with the hunger that he needs, he could beat Crawford. Because Crawford, you know, is very talented, but I think Canelo could beat him. Canelo's strong, man. Canelo's strong. Canelo could take a good punch. So I think he could just go and don't respect his punch and throw punches even though you're gonna get hit. But don't give up. Keep going until you hit him. I think rematch with Canelo would be the best thing for him to do.
Even if Crawford came out of retirement for a 2026 rematch, it would be huge news. But experts warn it could be disastrous for Canelo. The first fight wasn't close. Crawford controlled every round. Wade Plemon said a rematch would likely have the same outcome.
And my only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive payday, the first fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight, and if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. I don't think this is going to go very well. For one, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Wade explained that Canelo keeps making the same mistakes: flat-footed stance, limited movement, and low punch output. Crawford took advantage of these flaws in the first fight. Canelo would need serious improvement before a rematch, while Crawford already knows exactly how to beat him.
I don't know how this goes well for Canelo in a rematch. Honestly, you will look at the first fight, and the things that plagued Canelo were essentially the things that plague him against most boxers. His flat feet, his lack of movement, his lack of volume. He couldn't get to Terence. He was overextending. He was getting caught with counter shots as he overextended. The big shown around, memed, and replayed moment of the fight is Canelo trying to throw a hook and a right hand, and Terence Crawford slipping on the outside and banging the left hand counter behind it. Canelo was beaten to the punch from distance. He was beaten in exchanges, and even in points in the fight, he was beaten inside by Terence Crawford. This was I wouldn't say dominant, but I would say more one-sided than I thought win for Terence Crawford, where he flat out outboxed Canelo and he took Canelo's power. Like, there were times where Canelo landed the big right hand and Terence Crawford took it. So what would be different if they fought again? The only different thing that potentially could happen would be in Canelo's hands. He would have to find ways to be different, and as much as I would love to believe that's possible, Canelo getting up there in age, I understand Terence Crawford is older, but Terence Crawford already fights at a way that's advantageous versus Canelo. He doesn't really have to change much. And he's fighting up a couple of weight classes from where he normally did, so he doesn't have to really worry about a weight cut either, and he's filled into that weight class because he looked just as big, if not bigger, that Canelo Alvarez did on fight night. So the question is,
Wade added that the only way Canelo could win is by performing at his absolute best, correcting every error from the first fight. Otherwise, he has little chance against Crawford.